All right, folks, good morning. It is December the 8th, 2021. Let's go ahead and start, as always, with SPX. What a day yesterday in SPX. I think that, you have to be a little bit surprised by the action, right? And I'll tell you why you have to be surprised by the action. This acted as such great resistance through here that this level of a move, right? I mean, this is a pretty significant 2% move. You just didn't expect that level of strength, right? And maybe we still see it. Maybe we see a back test here to this 45.90 level. I certainly think that's a possibility. This 45.90 level. Certainly, though, you could also expect us just to march right back up to all-time highs. Okay, and so really, what we're going to be paying attention to are a couple of things. One is this level of what is now support. So we need to go ahead and begin updating these drawings or these colors, right? So we now have what is support here. Okay, and so we have these levels of support. We want to watch these. If we, and actually, let's just go ahead and delete this trend line, right? Let's delete this trend line. I don't like that trend line anymore. Clearly, we broke out of that trend line. So what we're going to watch is we're going to watch this level right here at 46.60. Okay, I think that's an important level. We see it right here twice. We also see it all the way really back here if we want to get even a little bit more. So we flirt around that level quite a few times. Okay, so I think 46.60 is an important level for us to watch. If that breaks, and I do think we challenge back at this 45.90 level. Okay, and that's an 100-point swing. Looking up, I know that there are going to be some folks that are going to call 4,700. I'm not really interested in 4,700. I'm also not really interested in this 47.15 level. What I'm really interested in is this 47.43 level, right? We'll see if we get back to all-time highs. If we get back to all-time highs, then I think that we really have to reevaluate the end of the year and whether or not we're actually going to get what folks like to call that Santa rally, okay? And so, if you want to draw this line, I don't think it's wrong, right? I don't think that it's wrong to draw a less important line here. Let's just make this a little bit more effective, right? You do have a couple of days there, but I'm mostly interested in this line. So, we can change the color if we want. This is a 2, that's a 1. And so those are your levels for today. Let's look at the minis. Let's see what the minis are doing. We are getting kind of rejected here at this 47.10 level. So not quite, this level here at 47. Actually, it is right there at 47.10. So I thought that was a 47.15. It's 47.10. So we'll see what happens if we're able to move back up here towards all-time highs. Again, a really strong candle yesterday. We do have our levels of support here. It would not surprise me, though, to see a pretty significant cool off because we're basically up 200 straight points. Here in your minis, we are up 0.25%. So really going to watch what happens here. If we start to retract again, this price level I think is really important. Okay, let's take a look at the VIX, VIX, or volatility index. Again, 2 days of pretty significant crush. Today's showing a hammer. We've got our levels that, we're interested in. Here's our box that we're also interested in. If we get there, we're certainly entering into a lower volatility regime. If we get there and are able to challenge it like we did here and not break through it. Again, I'm pretty pleased with our top that we called here at about 35. We just know that volatility is heavy in the 30s. We just know that. It's, even if we go back 3 year on the weekly, volatility is heavy, right? Even here, we're in the coronavirus pandemic. We're having a lot of crazy stuff happen. Volatility is still heavy, and so we're always going to see kind of this retraction to the mean, which is at about 17, which is right where our box, really starts to begin here. And so that's kind of the upper end of our mean. So what are we looking at here for the VIX today? We're really going to see if we're going to continue kind of this move down continue to see retraction in volatility, especially if we march to all-time highs. They're in VXX, massive down day, right? So a huge 10% gap. We're gapping down a little bit, that's 2% or so here in this particular security. UVXY, I mean, obviously you're going to see the same thing, just a little bit more protracted, right? So we're going from 26 all the way down to 17 very, very quickly, back marching towards all-time lows. We'll see what happens if we hit all-time highs in SPX. I anticipate continued retraction in volatility. We're going to continue to see this move down. Okay. I do want to talk about gold for a second. A little bit of a hammer or a doji type day here. We are seeing a little bit of a rejection here at this particular level, which has been historically important. And so I really want to see if there is any follow through. This is going to mean that our, our dust type of positions are going to continue to retract there. That is our bear. So we'll see what happens with that today, but I am interested. Let's go to oil. Of course, we see Biden's announcement, and then we're right back up 1.5%. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Almost 10% higher than we were at the kind of trough there. So again, we'll see if we continue to march up. I really see this, the 74 to 79 level is very, very important here in oil. And the reason is because this is where we saw our announcement, right? So if we get back up to the 74 level, then we have totally undone all of Biden's announcement there as it pertained to oil. And so if we get there, that means that all of that geopolitical gain is utterly gone, and folks are going to continue to see, pennies pinched at the pump. Okay. Other than that, I don't really see a lot that I'm super interested in working through. We did take off our CCL and our AAL positions yesterday. We rolled our UVXY, took off our BlackBerry as well. Went ahead and just secured that profit, trying to clear the books a little bit. We obviously do have quite a complicated book entering into our end of the year. And so I'm working on clearing out the book just a little bit. Of course, we do have quite a lot that's on. We will do a year-end recap. On the whole, I'm extraordinarily pleased with how we've traded. There are a couple that, if I could go back and retrade Lab D, I would retrade Lab D. That's been a colossal failure on my part, but I've felt really good. I gave back a lot of my initial UNG really right at the end of the year. If we want to talk through UNG, this move, as we were flirting in here, we were making really, really good money, and then this move, this 50% move down, just absolutely annihilated us. We still got some good stuff on in UNG, and we're going to continue to see profit there. Obviously, UVXY and VIX have been our biggest winners. We love trading volatility. We love trading really risk conscious volatility trades, and they continue to pay dividends for us. Our portfolio continues to really shine. We continue to just trade really, really well. Other things, when we look at things like Workhorse and Wish, they're gonna really cancel out for us. TZA and TNA have been good trades, but also one of the reasons that it's been such a good trade is because IWM has, been in this channel. We break out for just a second, but on the whole, we've been in this channel the whole time, and it's just back and forth. Great premium on TNA and TZA, and we're just lapping up all that premium in those types of trades. But that's what happens when you're in a channel, right? When you're in a channel like this, it's very, very easy to trade through these types of positions versus SPY, right? And when you get a move like this, let's actually just go to SPX instead. It's just a little bit cleaner of a chart. When you have a move like this, right, this 431 to 470, right? That's a 10% move with very, very little Very, very little back and forth. And so that's a little bit more difficult to trade some of these types of positions, just because the premium you're going to start collecting on a sold call that's deeply in the money, when you're rethinking through when you have your long call, it's just not enough to really make a huge difference in those types of positions. And so that's when that type of trade just isn't as effective as it, really could otherwise be. But, as we begin to look here, I mean, we're still up huge in the last year, 36.33 to 47.43 is our range. And so that's a huge range, right? And so that makes it difficult again. Whereas you take something like the IWM right here, and it's just such a different trade, because you're back and forth, and you can really collect that premium really well. So anyways, that's where we're at for that. Again, we're just going to continue to see kind of where the market goes over the course of the next couple of days here in our positions. And we'll adjust, and we'll take stuff off, and we'll roll things out to next week and continue the process of collecting premium and grinding the goal of 100% a year, right? That's the goal, to grind 100% a year. And we're close this year. We'll see what happens, particularly with UVXY and VIX. If we have a Santa rally into the end of the year, we still may get there. We still may get there. We'll see. It'll be a stretch, but we might be able to get there. I think it's more realistic that we're going to end up in the 60 or 70% range on the whole portfolio. So anyways, if you want to join our community and get these alerts sent directly to you, join us on Patreon. I look forward to seeing you there. Let's have a great Wednesday, folks.